to my channel. So today I'm covering 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days, Season 3, Episode 2. So I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was really interesting. It captured my attention for the basically whole 2 hours. So with that being said, let's jump into it. So let's start off with Rebecca and Zied. We are reminded that Rebecca has photoshopped her photos like immensely. She looks 15 to 20 years younger, and some of those pictures kind of look like she put her face on someone else's body. Like, it was very different. Either way, but like they video chat and stuff like that, so he's able to he knows kind of what she looks like. He knows the deal. Plus, he's 26, she's like 47. The age difference comes with some changes within the face. So that wasn't going to be a surprise or shock to him. So what I found really weird was she's leaving to go on this trip, and then she has no contact with him. She hasn't communicated with him within that 24-hour period. And I'm like, if I'm flying across the world to meet you and stuff like that, we're gonna have a conversation the day before I leave. So she risked it all and she went there. So that part happened, and then they fast forward 24 hours before then to follow Zied. And you get to see kind of him with his family. He's very loving. He seems like a mama's boy, and they're very close and tight-knit. With that also, you also hear that, you can hear how conservative his family is. And his family has no, I guess, premarital sex. A man and a woman must not share the same bed. They must sleep in separate rooms. And he's kind of like, yeah, which he's planning on not doing it, which I can understand why, because, like, you're grown, so I'm 26. My parents shouldn't be telling me what to do, per se, but every culture is different, and I don't know if I would want to be lying to my future in-laws the first chance I get to meet them. So I might have like hold off on it for a bit, but she's a grown woman. She can do whatever she wants. So they're gonna plan on sharing the same room. He tells his parents how old she is. They seem very apprehensive, but not totally against it. And the same thing for him and his friends. So then she comes to the airport looking for him, and they have this whole big TLC moment of, oh, is he gonna show up or is he not gonna show up? He was showing up. So he showed up there. I like to point out that Zied wears a size like medium when he needs an extra large. His stuff is way too tight, and it was making me feel so uncomfortable. I'm like, how do you sit down when your pants are like literally that tight? Anyways, so they meet at the airport. It's wonderful. They're hugging, embracing each other. He's giving her kisses. Oh, you're so beautiful, blah blah. He doesn't care that her pictures are clearly photoshopped. It's all hugs and kisses. She's ready to seal the deal. She's ready for some jiggy, but she's also hoping that his dad doesn't find out. So that was it with their story. It was nice that I like seeing when the couples meet, especially couples that are not typically matched together, seeing them embrace each other and like show that they actually do care about each other. So I love seeing that. So next we have Caesar and Maria. Caesar, honey, if Maria shows up to this trip, I will eat my words. But as of now, I don't think Maria's gonna show up to this trip. So Caesar does his research and finds out there's no conflict between Ukraine and Russia that would prevent her from booking her ticket. And he's kind of telling her, like, you know, baby, it's alright, it's okay. You can book your ticket now. I've read there's no conflict, which I don't know why he's not thinking about, like, it's a lie. She just told you a lie. She lied about conflict in her country, she can't leave and stuff like that, when she obviously could. So he's just looked past this, and all he's thinking about is, did you book your ticket? Did you book your ticket? So she's kind of like, oh, you know, like, I will soon. And I'm like, I swear he said there's a week left until he has to go down there. So what do you mean, like, why is she postponing booking the tickets? And Caesar fully trusts her. I wholeheartedly believe that there's nothing wrong. So him and his friend go to an engagement shop, go to a jewelry store to buy her an engagement ring. So he ends up spending $200 on the, like, cubic zirconia, I think, or whatever, fake kind of diamond ring. They're very pretty, but, like, unnecessary. And his whole plan is to propose to her. Between Caesar's friend, the retail clerk, no one believes that this is going to work out. And I feel so bad for him because he's like, no, it is. Like, she loves me. She has to. I kind of want to, like, shake him and tell him, like, honey, if she shows up, I will eat my words, but I don't think she's going to appear anywhere. So, yeah. Next, we have Avery and Omar. So Avery kind of meets up with her friends for the last time to kind of see them and then kind of say her goodbyes because she's going and she's not planning on coming back. Little do they know. So her friends are kind of talking about the new culture shift and, like, her covering up versus when she used to be a little bit more freer. She was saying that, like, Omar is not happy about my past because she's not a virgin, she was dressing more scantily clad than the more conservative look, and he doesn't like that. So then they're kind of playing up that he could be controlling, which you won't know until you actually go and find out. And it's just kind of them informing her to, like, watch her back, to make sure she's safe, and to kind of consider stuff before they get married. Avery just, like, you're basically talking to a brick wall because she's not listening to anything. It's going in one ear and coming out the other. So it's her and her mom getting ready to go to the airport, and when they get to the airport, one of the worst things happens. She forgets her phone. So her grandmother had just dropped them off. She calls her and says, like, hey, do you have my phone, and blah blah. So her grandmother turns around to come there, and you arrive at the airport a couple hours early, so they probably still have time and stuff like this, but waiting for the grandmother to come back. And then they look into the car, they don't find the phone, so she's like, you know, F it, we don't need the phone. And her mom's like, I'm not going nowhere without you having a phone. Just in case you're in love with him and you want to leave or you need to contact somebody, you need to have a phone. Makes perfect sense, especially this guy that you don't know, and in order for you to meet him, you have to fly on the other side of the world. Makes sense. I feel like that's a really dumb thing for you to forget. I feel like I'd more forget my passport than my phone, because I have my phone with me 24/7, especially when I'm listening to music. If I need to listen to music and I don't have my phone around me, which is not, it's not a very long process for me to realize that I need to look for my phone or to find my phone. So for her to forget her phone is, like, kind of dumb. But I don't think they're gonna miss their flights. And if they miss their flight, the worst that can happen is they just postpone it. So with that being said, let's go to the next one. We have Darcy and Tom. Every time I get through an episode where Darcy doesn't cry, I thank the gods. Because she is so, I've never seen someone so emotional. She's very emotional. So she loves to boast and to hype up her man, which I understand. But I hate that she brings her ex Jesse into it, and TLC's pulling up clips of blah blah. I'm like, Jesse's gone. Unless Jesse's gonna make an appearance, unless Jesse's gonna be like, oh, I'm in London or something like that, or let's meet up. They need to stop talking about him because he's not part of her life nor the show anymore. So she's going out with her girls and she wants to show off her man, and she FaceTimes him, and he's talking about bringing her on a yacht, and he's gonna bring her to this island or this place and blah blah blah. So I'm guessing Tom has money. And then so I felt like her friend Raina, I think that's her name, was a little out of pocket. She was being a little bit too flirty for my liking. Like, I can understand if you think my man's cute, but like, you can tell me that in private instead of being like, oh, you're so cute, and it's like, would you do him and blah blah blah. And then he was like, let me see some cleavage and stuff like that. He was giving me like old uncle vibes. I was like, ugh. Like, you don't even know me like that, and like, you're talking to my friends this way. I can understand like why it would upset Darcy and make her kind of be like, okay, so is this how you talk to anybody and everybody, including people I know? Darcy's a twin, so it's like, is this the way you're gonna talk to my sister? Like, I don't know. I wasn't feeling that, and I think that was very tacky. So she looks past that, they argue, they make up, and she's getting ready to finally go and see him. So that's kind of where we left off Darcy's segment at. But whew, if I see her cry, like, it just annoys the hell out of me. So next we have Timothy, Jennifer, and Veronica, because it seems like Veronica's not going anywhere. I can't stand Veronica and her, we're a family, we're a family. Veronica, like, you're technically not really in the family. You're the mother of his child, per se. But you're, like, no longer family, because it seems like Veronica is a little bit salty. I don't know if she's salty because Timothy has this youngin' girl that he's spending money on and buying Fashion Nova, which I did see Fashion Nova, and wants to take care of her and her kid and blah blah blah. I don't know if that girl feels salty, because I feel like she's coming on so strong, and any woman would be upset at Timothy having allowing his ex-girlfriend to interact in the way they do. I don't feel comfortable if your ex-girlfriend that you were engaged to, that you're raising her child, be best friends. There's too much history there, and like, I'm very curious as to why they broke up, because that's a lot of baggage to have, and usually people need to detach from that. But for you guys to still be connected, where she's coming to your house and blah 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 blah, and it's not just for the child, that's a no-go for me. I'm not comfortable in that type of position. Anywho, so she shows him the party, and she's wearing basically a bra and a see-through top, and I'm like, I'm not having that either. So Timothy, in his dumb self, was like, oh, so like, what's her name again? Oh, Jennifer asked if, like, told me to take pictures of like what's going on and blah blah blah. So she's like, oh, I'll take a picture. She sits on his lap and takes a picture, like how a couple would take a picture. It clearly looks like she's on his lap. There's not a picture of you'd see her arm in it or anything. Like, no, she's sitting on his lap and taking like a lovey-dovey picture. She takes the picture and she sends it he sends it to the girl. He's like, oh, I wonder what she's gonna say. And I'm like, what do you think she's gonna say? Like, I don't want to see my man doing that. I don't know. I feel like Veronica is really salty and it's showing, and it looks like, I don't know, tacky, because it doesn't, like, let him live, let him do whatever he needs to do, and I shouldn't have to fight for your attention. And I'm gonna always compare myself to this girl, because, like, how can you have such a close relationship with this girl yet fall out of love with this girl, type of thing, but then still be around her as a friend? I don't know. I find it to be very weird, and I can see problems happening, but, like, he's creating his own problems, because he needs to be man enough to tell Veronica that, like, hey, you need to back off. This is my girl. Anyways, last but not least, we have Angela and Michael. So Angela's 53 and Michael's, I'm gonna say, 30 or in his 30s. So they were on a previous show, I believe. I think they were on Happily Ever After. They were one of the other TLC shows, so they're making a comeback. She did apply for the K1 visa, but it just takes time for him to come. So because they have a lot of problems apparently that they're dealing with, she's decided to go and see him before he comes there to live and they get married and stuff like this. She sees a wedding, she goes to her friend to see a wedding venue, and it comes up to $6,000 to $8,000, which I thought was so cheap. And I don't know how much she was thinking of how much her wedding was gonna cost with what she wanted, this and that and that. The guy who was the, I don't know, the sales guy, his accent was so heavy, but he was making me laugh. So I don't know what problems they have to deal with, but they're going to deal with problems. Not Stacy. Angela goes out to lunch or dinner with her daughter to ask her daughter if she would be interested in giving up her egg or being a surrogate for them. So, because Michael wants a child, like, no surprise, and Angela wants to give it to him, but she can't kind of naturally have it. So I guess that we're gonna see that's another problem, because it's so expensive to go that route in America. So good luck with that, Angela. I don't like the problem with Instagram and stuff. I don't think that's a big deal. I don't think it's a big enough deal for me to actually leave the country to go see you over Instagram and stuff like that, when you could delete stuff from the comfort of your home. So yeah, that's not necessary, but we haven't seen anything about Michael. And then there's another couple that we haven't seen anything about, which I'm interested in seeing. So I kind of feel like they're going to, I feel like either it's like Maria's not going to show up, so then Caesar's going to drop off, and then this other couple's going to take their place. Because to have like 7 couples is a lot of content, and it's a lot to absorb. But that's the end of my recap of 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days, Season 3, Episode 2. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
I'm just a dumb cunt, fucking sick and tired of it. Maybe I could front love, maybe I could buy a zip, maybe I get fucked up. Next time I could save some. Why it's gotta be like this? Why it's gotta be that way? Put it inside. Feel so rise up, banging on that loud.